The city never really sleeps, but in these quiet hours, it feels like it's holding its breath. Here, in the soft glow of a single lamp, our father sits alone. The weight of the world, or at least his small corner of it, rests on his shoulders. In the next room, his child's dreams, oblivious to the late-night anxieties that keep him awake. Just him, the silence, and the blue light of his phone. Then, a notification shatters the stillness. A name he recognizes, but one that doesn't belong in this quiet, domestic world. A billionaire CEO, a woman he knows only through professional emails and polished press releases. The message is simple, disarmingly so. Do you think I'm pretty? He freezes. His thumb hovers over the screen, 1,000 cynical replies running through his mind. Is this a test? A game? But then, a photo loads. It's not what he expects. It's no magazine gloss, no power suit, no perfectly engineered smile. It's just her. In soft, forgiving light, without makeup, her expression unguarded. She looks real. And in that realness, there's a flicker of something he recognizes all too well. Uncertainty. He doesn't smile. He doesn't feel the urge to flirt or flatter. A wave of concern washes over him. His mind flashes through the images he's seen of her before. Magazine covers where she's hailed as a visionary. Boardrooms echoing with applause. Headlines that call her an icon, untouchable, a force of nature. He sees the public persona, the carefully constructed fortress she lives inside. Then his eyes return to the photo on his screen. A quiet, unsure woman asking a question a teenager might ask. A human being, stripped of her armor. He begins to type, his fingers moving slowly over the keyboard. He writes a sentence, then deletes it. It's too simple. He tries again, searching for words that can bridge the chasm between her world and his. Finally, he types a response that comes not from a place of strategy, but from a place of empathy. His voice is a quiet whisper in his own mind as he reads it back. You look like someone who's tired of being admired, just wants to be seen. He sends it. The single word delivered a stark confirmation in the dark. Miles away, in a penthouse that touches the clouds, she reads his message. The city lights glitter below, a kingdom at her feet, but her world shrinks to the glowing screen in her hand. For a moment, she just stares at the words. Then, the carefully maintained composure she's worn for years begins to crack. A single tear traces a path down her cheek, not of sadness, but of something far more complex. Relief. Later, she confesses it was the first time she'd ever asked that question honestly. Every other time, it had been a tool, a strategic move to gauge loyalty or manipulate a situation. It was a question about power, not about her. His answer wasn't about her beauty. It was about her humanity. They agreed to meet, okay? No assistants, no public relations handlers, no agenda. Just a small, quiet cafe tucked away from the prying eyes of the city. The air between them is thick with unspoken questions. She looks smaller in person, without the towering reputation that precedes her. He looks just like he did in his dimly lit Kachina man carrying his own quiet burdens. He looks at her, his gaze steady and kind. Pretty fades, he says softly, his voice barely a whisper. But courage, the kind of courage it takes to ask a question like that. That doesn't. In the weeks that follow, something shifts. The world sees her laughing, a genuine, uninhibited sound, as she walks through a park on a sunny afternoon. He watches his child on the playground, a small, peaceful smile on his face, the weight on his shoulders a little lighter than before. We see them walking together, side by side, their shoulders occasionally brushing. No longer a CEO and a single dad, but just two people, unguarded and present. The final scene is simple. They're sitting on a bench, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink. She leans her head against his shoulder. It's not a gesture of romance, not yet. It's a gesture of trust, of finding a safe harbor. a moment of peace in a life that has offered her everything but. The bravest people, after all, are the ones who still dared to ask the simplest questions.